basically about the conjugal love, or about the relationship between, not only man and woman, but the relationship between the pairs, and how the nature correlates to this. So yeah, thank you. I will just invite my brother George so he can start the lecture. Thank you. Hope everyone enjoy. Oh,
Hello. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. So let us continue our series. Today we are in the second part of the lectures, which we're talking about conjugal love. And as Paul said, we are in chapter 7. Everything is created in pairs, right? So, show my camera. Okay. Yeah, so last lecture we reviewed about what we learned, the fundamental principles of peace. And now we are going to continue talking about some universal principles, right? So there are two universal principles of peace. And just like anything in the world, if you want to be successful, you need to learn about how the rules work, right? How the things work. So just like in engineering, you have to learn math, or when you are playing a game, you have to know the rules of the game. When we are talking about peace, we need to understand. So these two principles are, number one, the dual purpose principle. This we also talk a little bit about in the other chapters. We said that we have two kinds of purposes inside ourselves. For example, the mind and the body. The mind have the purpose more public, and the body has a purpose of maintaining itself, right? So the right kind of relationship that these two should have would be that the mind is over in priority over the body. So as we saw, this is the essence of goodness, right? Living for the sake of others. So the second principle of peace is the pair system, right? So you see that the first dual purpose principle is more like one should be above the other. But in this pair system, we are talking about two things that have not a hierarchy, not up and down. They have the same value, right? It's more like a horizontal. Then when we talk about the pairs, the first pair we talk about is the man and the woman, right? You can understand this more or less. So when we say about it that they are equal, what are we talking about when we say that this pair, the two components of this pair, the man and the woman, they are equal in value? So when we think about it in a mathematical way, for example, you learn in science that we have the chromosomes, and every human being has 23 pairs, right? And using these pairs, we can make new children, right? So children have 23 chromosomes from each parent, right? So in a sense, when we look at it this way, men and women, they have equal value, right? So they also have a the equality in the sense that both of them are needed to have children, right? It's not that the man is more important or the woman is more important. Both have the same value, because without any of them, you cannot have children. But we understand that they have different aspects, right? For example, usually the father is more disciplined, more harsh, and the mother is more loving and caring. And that's okay. That doesn't mean that one is superior or inferior than the other. That just means that we have different aspects of the same being. Okay. So this equality is also the essence of true love, right? Because the love that's created equally by a man and a woman is it's like the glue that makes husband and wife to stay together, right? What makes them be together throughout their lives, that's true love. Okay, so continuing. So if we can use a metaphor, right? When we say this is dual purpose principle is more horizontal, it's like a pillar, right? When you're making a building, you know the pillar, the one that go like this, vertical. And the pair system is like the beams, the one that goes on the horizontal, right? Like this one. Aha. So to make a building of several floors, you need both of these components. You cannot just make with only pillars or only beams. You need both of them for us to make a building. Yeah, so when we combine them, then you can make many kinds of structures, right? And the structures can be anything. They can have doors or windows, can change the doors or windows. We can use these for as a school. We can use this as a government office, a shopping center, but we can change all the walls, all the windows. We can change all these aspects, but the internal structure, that cannot be changed, right? So in a way, when we compare this to, for example, a family or a nation, if the structure is firm, the structure is strong, then the building will stand no matter what. Otherwise, if the structure is not that strong, what happens to the building? The building collapses. So in the same way, if the main structure of the family, the main component of the families are not working, the societies are not working, and the nations are not working, then what happens is that eventually they have their collapse. Okay. So now let's talk a little bit more about the pair system principle, right? So as I said before, we have men and women. Men we here represent by positive and woman negative. That's like not like man is better, woman is worse. That's like positive and negative when you put in the outlet, right? The electricity. Right? It's not that positive is better or negative is better. It's just a symbol that we're using. Okay, so so this is what we call dual characteristics, and everything in creation have these dual characteristics, right? They have this pair system. And this we can even remember from when we learn in science. So for example, when we talk about the particles or atoms or molecules, they have the positive and negative parts, right? For example, in the atoms, we have the protons, the positive, and the electrons, the negatives, right? And you can say, oh, what about the neutrons? Well, the neutrons is like a balanced charge, right? Remember that the proton is a positive charged particle, and the electron is a negative charged particle. And the neutron is the stabilized particle, right? It's the one that has positive and negative imbalance. Oh, look at the neutrons there. So, and you also maybe remember the molecules, right? Like H plus and then OH minus to make H2O, for example, or Na plus Cl minus that make the salt. So the or cation and anion. So molecules also have these properties of positive and negative, right? Dual characteristics. When we go to the plants, they have the stamen and pistil, right? And you may remember this from the science classes, that there are different kinds of flowers, male flowers and female flowers for each plant. And depending on the plant, they can be on the same plant, or they can be two different plants. For example, the papaya tree has two kinds of tree. One is the male papaya tree only gives flowers, and the female papaya tree gives the fruits. Okay, so a lot of flowers here. Yay. Let's continue. Then when we move up to the animal kingdom, we have male and female, right? Like the lions and the cows and everything. So this is very clear for us to understand. There is male and female in the animals. Oh, sorry. And we have also on human beings that have this principle, right? We are divided in, humanity is divided in men and women, right? Have in every continent, everywhere in the world, we have men and women. Okay. So as we can see, this kind of principle exists in basically all creation, right? So what is this fact tell us, right? So what's the reason for this to be like this? So from this, we can understand that existence itself requires polarity, right? You cannot just have the positive or just the negative to exist. You poof, disappear somehow. You have to have both components to be able to exist, to be able to, for example, matter. You cannot only have electrons or only neutrons or only protons. You have to have both to make a part. And the second point is then the origin of the universe also has this kind of polarity, right? Positive and negative. Everyone following so far? I hope so. So, as we saw, the purpose of the pair system is existence, is to be able to exist, right? We need both parts of each dual characteristic to be able to exist. In the plant world, this is for reproduction, right? This is when the pollen from the male flower goes to the female flower. And then they can make fruits and seeds for the next generation. As for animals, is to create offspring, right? To create baby cows or baby cats or baby dogs. So they have offspring after they mate, male and female. And this, for animals, this is the purpose of the dual characteristics. So they can be able to reproduce. Similar to, but in human beings, right? What is the purpose of this pair system? Right? In human beings, this includes also the existence, reproduction, having children. And but for humans, there is something more that we have added to here, right? So there should be something unique that only humans have that's different from everything else, right? So this purpose for human sexuality is more than just having children or just reproducing or existing. Of course, there is the purpose of existence and reproduction, but additionally, for humans, this is something more special, right? So if it was not like that, then we would just be like the animals. So there is another purpose for this. So according to the words of our founder, Mother Moon, we marry in order to resemble God. God exists as a being of dual characteristics. Thus, husband and wife together are a reflection of his original image. So, like she said, we marry, we become husband and wife to resemble God, right? Since, as we said before, God, the origin of the universe, is a being that has positive and negative, then husband and wife together, positive and negative, they together reflect the image of God, right? Which means that man and woman, they need each other to be complete, to exist as a complete existence, right? The man is not 100% complete without a woman, and the woman is not 100% complete without a man. Both have to be together, working together in harmony to be able to complete their existence. Okay, so here, how did we get to this point, right? So when we are creating something, the nature of creating something, we have this kind of process, right? We have the invisible and the visible. So, for example, in the case of, let's say, we're creating a painting, right? The artist, we cannot see the artist inside the painting, right? But through the painting, we can understand some things. He likes to draw with the purple color, for example. So in a similar way, the mind, the body also reflects the mind, right? You have, maybe you heard about you are what you eat or you are what you think, right? So your thoughts, they kind of are expressed on your external form, on your body. That's why there are some people that can, when they look at you, they can understand certain things like, oh, maybe you need to eat more sugar or you need to eat less salt or things like that, right? So like the creation, this in the same way, the creator has his characteristics that are reflected in the creation, right? So one of them is what we just were discussing before, that are the dual characteristics. God has these dual characteristics. All the creation have the characteristics, and the opposite way also works. So just to conclude this part, what makes unique is that men and women, when they work together in this relationship, they achieve perfection and can be an image of God. Okay. So how do humans reach this perfection, right? They reach through true love, right? How can men and women work together? Only through love. Otherwise, they would just fight every day. So, just to review, we have here the two principles that we learn about today. The dual purpose principle, which is the essence of goodness, which can be translated to live for others, and the pair system principle that is the essence of true love and can be simplified as the sacredness of marriage, right? So our first responsibility is to live for the sake of others, and our second responsibility is to understand the man-woman relationship and how this creates true love and teaches us about the essence of God. So when we apply these two principles, the principle of living for the sake of others, to the man and woman relationship, it becomes, living for the sake of others. It becomes loving for the sake of others, right? So this is our second responsibility. So creating goodness within us, inside ourselves, and creating true love as a couple are things that only human beings do in the creation, right? So these are the two responsibilities that make us different from the rest of the creation. And that's why family is so important, right? So both of these principles of peace, that to live for the sake of others and to love for the sake of others, are experienced and learned first in the family, right? So when these principles, when this good character, this true love is passed down in a family, then it will be reflected also in the society. And then we can have sustainable peace and development, right? But all starting with the family. So thank you. This was the lecture for today. To explain a little bit more, probably even a small introduction about it. But for today, that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, George.
Yes, thank you very much. That was a lecture for today, and now we have a small activity with two questions. How can men and women be equal? And which is more fundamental, the dual purpose principle or the pair system principle, and why? So we will give like 10 minutes if you want to reflect a little bit, and then we will come back for sharing. So yeah, I will see you in 10 minutes. So thank you. Hi, hello, welcome back. I hope you had a little bit of time to reflect. Yeah, about the activity, how men and women can be equal. So can we ask some volunteers if they would like to share? If you had some inspiration, it would be nice to hear from you. Oh, Miss Ava, yeah, thank you. Thank you. Please, you can unmute your phone or
Um, Good night. Do you have my
good
voice right
night.
now?
Yes, I'm here.
About the first question, how can men and women be equal? I think the rules of men and women can be interchangeable, and both of them can do what others can't, or sometimes they can do what others can. Actually, it's changed depending on what's happening or what's like. It's about the different situation, and they can help each other and be complete each other and be the one. Can like something like that. About the second question, I literally have no idea, because um, it makes me confused. Actually, I'm sorry.
Yeah, this second question, honestly, for me, it's not so clear also, but it was well, it
Yeah,
was on the material. So, but yeah, thank you for for your
yeah.
your point of view. Well, thank you. So, someone else would like to share with us? So, yeah, hi, hello, Sarah. Nice to see you.
Hi, good night, everyone. So
Good night.
about the first question, I think we all know that the men and women in physically they are totally different, so no doubt about it. But how they can be equal, I think uh, the main thing is that when all the people accept that the men and women uh, should be equal in uh, the value, and they are not different. And I think, yeah, we have to know, I don't know how to say it, but um, yeah, they are in their opportunities, they have to be the same. So, yes. Um, And I think the importance is acceptance of all the humans that they are equal, you know. So about the second question, it's also not clear for me, but I think the more fundamental is pair system that men and women have to work together and build something, and not one of them can do everything. So it's a pair system, I think. Yes, this is my answer.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for sharing. So, yeah, that was really good answer also. So, yeah, Mr. Park, would you like to also share a little bit?
Yes, I want to share. Um, mm, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
So For me, how to become equal is really respect and love can make equal. I think treat really equal means really appreciate and respect and that is make like a more important than me, like a kind of that kind of thinking. I am really for the sake of my spouse or my like that kind of mind. If we do like this, naturally it'll become more equal. Like people try to support each other and love each other. Then naturally, nobody will want to control or be like strong, subjugate. But this will make equal to that is the first question. And second question, also I had a lot of thinking about this long time. So for me, all humans are basic is mind and body. They have a invisible mind and body. So all human men and women equal. This is more essential, and all everything creation has that kind of internal character, external form, or internal nature, external showing. So that is more essential and then from this essential, it became like a man or a woman. But man, woman inside, there is this essential mind and body is the same here and there, everywhere there is. So this kind of nature of, for me, this is more first, and then second principle is more man and woman or masculine, feminine, or male and female. I think this way. I don't know, but it is correct or not. But I'm thinking. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Park. That was very insightful. Think a very very good answer. Our friend Osman, no, he wrote in the chat. Men and women are equal because they both deserve the same rights and opportunities and respect. Yes, that is, yeah, that is true. That is true. And yeah, for me, I think uh, how can men and women be equal? Because physically they are obviously different, and but I think when they really love each other, they truly do feel true love for each other. They really will. How can I say? Oh, it's already straight, but be equal while they're loving, because love makes no difference of gender, of height, of your size, or whatever characteristic you have. So yeah, this is kind of like, yeah, really deep question. The second one, I'm sorry, I also really, yeah, it's not so clear for me, but yeah. So I think that's it for today. Really thank you everyone for coming, still going and joining us for this series of lectures. And I would like to announce our title for our next lecture is the purpose of human sexuality. And again, just to remind, it will be in the next Tuesday, November 25, at the same time, like 7 p.m. here in Lebanon time. So yeah, thank you everyone for coming. I hope you enjoy our lectures, and yeah, I hope to see you again next week. Okay, thank you. Bye everyone. Bye.
Bye bye.
Goodbye.